Hello there everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Try New Things, where today I answer a viewer's question. So I did get a question on a previous video from a subscriber called OCD70, and his question to me was, how hard is it to remove the loader? Now, I interpret that two different ways potentially. One is the easy way, which I've done a lot, which is remove the front bucket. And I've removed it a couple times, put the forks on, that kind of thing. The other way to interpret it, which is the way I think OCD meant it, was removing the entire loader assembly complete with the arms. So I'm going to do both of those today. I've never removed the entire assembly, so we'll do that together and we'll figure out just how easy or how hard that's going to be on the RK25. Now before I do that, I want to do a shout out to Kelly. And another shout out to Kevin, two additional viewers who have just recently purchased an RK25 and have joined the RK25 family. So again, congratulations to you two. I hope everything goes extremely well and your experience has been good as mine has. But anyway, let's jump right into it, and let's start by removing the bucket first, and then we'll put it back on and remove the entire assembly with hydraulic lines and all. So stay tuned, we're going to get right at it. Alright, when it comes to removing the front bucket, it absolutely doesn't get any easier than this. There are no bolts to disconnect, there's no proprietary connections. It is your standard skid steer style quick release. Now, I do apologize for the mud and dirt, but I do use my tractor. All you simply do is pull the two levers. And it's released. The next step is start up the tractor, lower it a little bit, and back away. Now to reinstall the bucket, it is just as easy, only in reverse. You orientate the two clips at the right angle, you pull forward into the bucket, lift gently, then get off the tractor and lock the two latches. Let me do that now. And there you have it, front bucket's back on. All right, there you have the first one complete. We've got the easy one out of the way. Now let's get ready to remove the entire assembly, including the hydraulic lines and everything. Let me reposition the camera and let's get started. Okay, we're just about ready to get started with removing the front assembly, but before I do that, I wanted to ask you a question. Leave comments below. Am I the only one that seems to think that there's more stink bugs this year than normal? Anyway, seeing them everywhere this year. Anyway, let's jump right into it. So here's the front loader assembly. The first thing we're going to do, and I apologize for doing this in steps, but I don't have a remote microphone, and I'm afraid you won't hear me over the tractor, but I'm going to raise the front bucket, and then you'll see me position two kickstands that are meant to stabilize the loader assembly when you go to disconnect it until you want to reconnect it again. So I'm going to do that right now. Start up the tractor, lift the bucket, engage the kickstands, lower the bucket, and I'll check back in with you in a second. Each of these kickstands have a cotter pin and a regular pin that you have to take out and then reinstall once you get it into position. All right, we should be good to go to lower the bucket. So now that the front bucket is lowered and the two kickstands are engaged and level and carrying the load of the front assembly, it's time to disconnect the arms from the main body of the tractor. Make sure you keep this pin handy. You're going to want to put it back in. And now for the other side. Just that easy. Now on each side of the tractor, you can see this horizontal member, the red one, is seated in this black saddle. What we're going to do is turn on the tractor, manipulate the lever a little bit, see if we can't get this to unseat and lift off before we disconnect the hydraulic lines. So that's what we're going to do right now. So there you go. You can now see we have unseated the front loader assembly from the tractor frame. And the next thing we're going to do is disconnect the hydraulic lines. But before we do that, we're going to want to move our joystick, our controller, back and forth a few times now that it's shut off. Try to relieve some of that pressure. But let's get positioned to remove those hydraulic lines next. Okay, so we're going to have to remove all 4 of these hydraulic lines, one at a time. Make sure they're out of the way and you don't pinch them when you go to back up the machine. I'm actually going to wrap it around the arm of the loader here. And then we'll back away, and that'll be the end of the front loader removal. That simple. I don't know about you all, but I think it looks a little different without the front loader on there. That's the first time I've had it off. I've been using the front loader and the backhoe extensively ever since I purchased this tractor, but I can certainly recognize that there are opportunities or times when it's completely unnecessary to have the front loader on, and it's nice that it's absolutely that simple to remove it. And to put it back on is the same process again, but in reverse, where we got to square up to the loader, drive in carefully and reconnect the lines, and then manipulate the controls until that pin, that horizontal red pin, sits in the black saddle. And when that happens, we can put our side pins back in and connect our lines and lift the bucket and put the kickstands in their original position. I won't walk you through every one of the steps, but you should be able to see me doing them in sequential order anyways. So stay tuned. We'll get this loader hooked back up again. And I'll be ready to make some more topsoil. So there you have it, folks. If you're not in the process of trying to make a video, removing or reinstalling the front loader assembly, as long as you're on a good solid flat surface, at most will take you 3 to 4 minutes to do either one. Hopefully you found this somewhat informational and OCD 70. Thank you for the question. Keep them coming. I read each and every one of your comments and I try to respond to most of them if I can. Until next time, don't forget to hit like and subscribe. It really helps me out a lot. And we'll see you later. Bye-bye.